Alright, we're gonna have a look at the new maps that are in. There's two maps actually that are about, and luckily Dog has been able to make some custom missions for both, so we're gonna have a look around. If you want to actually see Dog's channel, he does make some War Thunder content and some other stuff. Make sure to check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description, so you can just go ahead and have a look. Definitely worth doing. This is Mysterious Valley, which is the new air map which is coming in. And the major feature of this is a dam which you cannot blow up, according to Stoner, because it's a civilian structure, which is just such a weird thing. You can see between like the two sets of water, there is one which is a very different color to the other, which is quite fun. The map itself, though, there's a ton of trees and also hills and mountains and little areas to fight. You can see that they've gone pretty heavy on the hill idea, so you can dip and dive around the hills and fight. Very similar to like parts of the Korea map, which is really cool. And then also just have like some stuff in the center, which is super well built up. So we had a look around this map, and the coolest thing, at least for me, is there's these rivers which are going all the way from like the central area, so you can see over there and then over here. And for me, they're going to make some really cool race maps because you'll be able to race along the rivers, and each part of the river has like a built-up area, and I don't think I've ever seen this much detail on a map when it comes to all of this, you know, kind of stuff being there. Like there's a lot of obviously copy paste stuff in terms of like what it looks like, but you can see here there's a bunch of different buildings and different ports and little boats and things that are built up, and they're all destructible, which is nice. The boats, not the buildings. Yeah, tons of high rises, tons of apartment buildings, and also some little bridges if you want to go under them. It reminds me a lot of that kind of like Asian map that we got, which is now in realistic. It started off as just an arcade one, but it has the huge golden Buddha, right? But there's a lot of these like little areas here, which are small little valleys which you can fight around, and obviously break line of sight on a bunch of the stuff that's happening. But yeah, look at that. How cool is this? Yeah, Southeastern City, that's the one. And I think at the end of the day, this is, you know, what people have been asking for, right? With the advent of new missiles and the advent of all of these different things going on, having a map which means that you have like a bunch of, I suppose your class is verticality, or a bunch of like little things like this where you can, you know, try and dodge missiles through them. Like, it actually helps quite a lot, because it means you don't have to just rely on your countermeasures. You can actually try different things to be able to try and survive. Like, once again, you can see like the river here. Like, imagine like if somebody set up a race map on this, it'd be cool. Alright. But it all centers around the main hub, which is the big old dam. But there are plenty of areas which are really cool to look at and also see. But we can have a look at the dam if you want. Yeah, so this map is beautiful, but also it's incredibly functional. And I'm very happy that they decided to go pretty aggressive on the hills in this one. Of course, if it's more designed for jets, you don't really have to worry as much about rate of climb, for example. And on a map like this, where you have quite a lot of trees and you have a lot of verticality, it's just going to be so much more fun to play. And you have all of the brown water that's here. Pretty murky. And just imagine, as I said, like a race that like goes along the water here. And you have to like hit the different barriers as you go. It would be really cool. I feel like I'm pod racing. Da, 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 da. Feel the force, Luke. But yeah, there's another bridge, and then, as I said, the big dam, which is there. That's like the main centerpiece of the map. With all these like little harbors and boats once again. And I think the most interesting thing is the color change. Straight to nice and blue. And on this side, there isn't really a lot to talk about. There is just more of a river, but not really any built-up stuff. So you have an incredibly concentrated area here, which is set up around, you know, the Y bend. And then over here is just everything else. Now, if you want, you can actually try and drive onto the thing. Pretty sure I have a vehicle for it here. But, you know, obviously, this is an air map, not a ground map. But you can see here, this is kind of like what it looks like from the ground. So it's pretty well modeled. And of course we have the things we showed before, the new pieces. Good old 9K72 and the Grad. But I think there's going to be a lot to actually unpack on this map. And since it's going to be real cool to see if they actually take parts of these maps and start actually making kind of ground maps out of them. Because that's something that I remember there used to be a lot of chat of, and then it just kind of never happened. Ooh! Okay, alright, well. That could have definitely gone better. Right, so this is the new naval map. I can't remember what it's called. Can anybody remember? All I just remember is there was 3 volcanoes on it, which isn't a great selling point. But we had a look around it earlier, and I've got to be honest. Oh, it's called Bering Sea. There you go, Bering Sea. This map, this is the naval map, right? Like, this is what it looks like. And it has this area near the volcano, which this one doesn't seem to be active, but the other ones are. But it looks like a very, very simple naval map. So you have the coastal areas, which obviously people will fight around. Then you have the open area, which is where the destroyers will fight around. And the volcanoes which are here are cool to see. But also, there is a... yeah, there's a little set of vehicles in there, like that you can see. But the actual things themselves, right? Like the map, the naval map, is really not that different compared to what we've seen before. So I don't think we're gonna see anything crazy. It's literally just the standard map you've seen previously. So there'll be a point like here, there'll be a point like over here, and then there'll be a point here, right? And that'll mean that larger ships will be able to fight over here, smaller ships will be able to fight over here. And then since the islands are pretty far apart and there doesn't seem to be any shallow area between them, you'll be able to actually fight you know, on them. And then little coastal machines will be able to use these areas and attack them. Sorry about that, but there's a bit of a graphical glitch with the thing at the moment, the dev server. You can see that the rocks are big enough to be able to hide coastal machines, so if larger machines do come in here, they will get bonked. And then it has some of the same like houses and things like that you've seen on the other maps. So I don't think the gameplay will be any different than what we've seen previously. Obviously different angles and different things like that, but it looks very similar. But with the volcanoes, it does look really cool. I'm kind of happy that they added all these different volcanoes and stuff. It's nice. Not too shabby.
I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecovo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.